new facility, her new home in Mississippi. Starting a new job today, too, right? Is that correct?
I am. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know where I'm going, to be honest with you, because my interviews and everything have been done over the internet, such as the age of new technology. So I haven't actually been to the building yet, so I'm going to allow myself a little extra time this morning.
All right. Listen, we'll just wrap with you here now quickly. Stuff we're hearing on this, the Word of Life trial and the potential inappropriate touching or molestation. It does seem there is some confusion out there, and people are talking about it, and then people are not talking about it. The DA's office really is not talking about it. What are you hearing, Christine?
Well, I think that there is some confusion on the part of the press to people who were at some of those initial press conferences. I remember very specifically that WKTV's Jolene Ferris asked numerous times whether or not the allegations that there were any sexual abuse going on, whether or not those were founded at all. And those concerns were very quickly dismissed. And I know she asked a couple of times, and I think it was thought of, as kind of rude, but now we're finding out that she may have been onto something.
Well, and we were vehemently, the charges were vehemently denied. We're talking about charges of any inappropriate touching or molestation. And we were told by the DA's office that there was no evidence. And as we had spoken of earlier, really talked about how maybe in this belief, in this church, the definition of inappropriate touching might be much different for them than it would be for us. However, what testimony came out of the trial is still really somewhat confusing, right?
Right, and that's for the prosecution really to address. They really have to address it at this point, right? Because their definition of what is inappropriate may be, as Manaski said, just hand-holding or hugging.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they will address it, though, because, again, and Bill, as you touched on, it's not like you're going to emotionally sway a jury.
So the question would be, does that play a role in the decision that Judge Dwyer is going to have to make? And I think there's that area. We're talking legalities versus talking about we have questions that we want answered, and I guess we really don't matter in this case. The only one that needs to be swayed is the judge in this case, and you'd be swaying him legally. A couple of other interesting stories out there this morning that Manaski has been focusing on. One of them is a crazy story about a father and a gun, and how quickly the father is coming out and defending the gun in the case.
Yeah, this is a tragic story. A 64-year-old Florida man who authorities say accidentally shot and killed his 14-year-old son at a shooting range is blaming himself, not the gun death. Clayton Brumby tells the Tampa Bay Times he fired off one last shot from a 22 semi-automatic Ruger Sunday while his son Stephen patiently waited for his turn with the gun. Brumby says a smoking hot shell casing went down the back of his shirt, so it came out of the gun, went down the back of his shirt, causing him to flail both his arms in the air. His finger was still on the trigger. The gun went off. The bullet ricocheted off the ceiling and struck his teen in the throat and killed him. So that's a horrible story, and obviously you have to be careful wherever you are if you're handling a weapon. But I just thought it was interesting that this has almost become a political issue already, where he's noting, listen, it wasn't the gun's fault, it was my fault. Where I just think that would be the furthest thing from my mind 2 days after it happened.
I'm not sure I would want to even be making any public statements.
Correct.
In that condition. Another story, Ashley Cook is a data security analyst, and there's a thing being called Medjacking. Do you know what it is? It's hacking and hijacking medical devices to create backdoors into hospital networks. And Ashley Cook is on the line to talk about that right now. What is this, and how vulnerable are we all?
Well, so, it's no different than any other sector where we see cybersecurity breaches. Unfortunately, this is in the health sector, which has a lot more personal information, such as your health records. So now we have cyber hackers coming in, stealing medical data because, the health industry needs to get up to date and make the significant investment into their IT infrastructure and educating their employees.
Well, haven't there also been cases where they have hacked in and really held the hospital hostage for a cash payout?
Well, yes, and so that happens as well, and it's called ransomware. And so if you have an employee who is on the internet and they click on malware, which is in the form of ransomware, and it intrudes into the network, and then they can hold all of your information hostage until you pay a large sum of money.
Yeah.
So the good news is that a lot of these breaches are caused by human error, human gullibility. So we tend to be very gullible about what we're clicking on and what information we access and what information we give when asked over the internet.
Got it. And are the hospitals reacting? I mean, because clearly this is all of your personal information, from credit information to your medical information. It's all there within the grasp of a hacker that gets inside these hospitals.
Yeah, I think that they are reacting. It's just to what degree, and are they reacting fast enough? Because we've seen 150% increase in security breaches at hospitals since 2010.
Yeah.
And so you can see that there's just been a continuous stream of activity, but I don't know if they've invested enough money in securing this type of data.
All right, Ashley Cook, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Take care.
It seems like a wind hacker was able to get into her phone and hack into it. That's all I kept hearing there was some sort of weird wind. Hey, Christine, good luck on your first day in your new venture. And we appreciate your involvement over the next couple of weeks. I thought things went rather well today as we made our way through a few technical aspects earlier this morning, but we got through it. I think went pretty well.
Thank you for your patience.
Okay, up until now, and I can't hear you now all of a sudden. All right, listen, enjoy your day. Good luck today, okay? And that is Christine. All of a sudden, just when I was raving about it, all of a sudden it went a little rough. 8:45. Hold tight. Coming right back at WIBX.